brand new materials that I just got. I went to Jerry's Artorama in Raleigh last week and I had no business being there. I went in to see if I could buy just like single little half pans for watercolors, and I ended up not getting those at all, and then I got like a billion other things. So today I'm going to experiment with my new products, and then I got some like really fun fluorescent colors to play around with, so that's cool, and they go with my neon markers. And last but not least, I am going to be doing a prompt from Jenny Manos group, Next Generation. You guys saw me do the How to Draw Hair collaboration that we did together, and I've done another prompt of hers before as well. So today I'm doing yet another one. This is back from January 25th, but I loved it so much and I'm gonna try it today. So let's do it. So today I'm completing the very last page. It's actually the very first page, but it's the last one I'm going to do of my altered book that I've been working in for many months, and I've done all of those projects on YouTube, and it's been a really fantastic cathartic journey filling this book up one by one until it's all done. I will do the cover as well, but just getting all those inside pages is pretty exciting. I have a confession to make. I've been very stressed out lately. I had a falling out with a friend. I'm sure we'll be fine, but it really kind of rocked my boat for a few days, and I've been very stressed out. So today was all about therapy for me. It was dumping some crazy paint set on a plane and getting in there with my fingers and just like being one with my paint and blaring my music as loud as I could before the neighbors complained. Yeah, and just like really getting in there, getting dirty. I have no plan at this part other than my prompt. I wanted to use my new paints. But other than that, I'm not thinking at this part. I'm just trying to get out my anxiety. This is where art is truly therapy for myself and a lot of other people. There's something just about getting lost in the moment and throwing yourself into something without caring about the results. I was going to use those markers, but I actually didn't end up using them at one bit, but I will use them later on. So this is where art therapy is just fantastic for losing yourself in something. And it doesn't have to be art. You could do just about anything else as well, but this is, if you're into it, it definitely does work. I've never used a stencil before, and it has sort of like the definition of art on it, and I actually took the time to read it, and it was kind of moving. I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I'm probably not super deep when it comes to my art, but it definitely touched some chords and why I was, doing art to make myself feel better. And I'm happy to say 3 hours later that it did. I do feel much better. It's so hard to describe the before and after, except for the fact that before I'm a hot mess, and after I feel like really serene and calm and just not like a hot emotional mess. So that's awesome. That's just gesso that, again, I'm just still like in it, guys. I'm making a mess. I'm like scraping it across my washi tape. I have a stamp. I love that I have a stamp that said altered book. I'd never used that before, but I'm like, this is the last page in my altered book, and I was super happy to stamp that out. I have some hearts in there just to represent kind of my feelings. Again, super weird for me to be arting with actual feelings and representations of things, but look at me go. Oh man. So yeah, I'm using my Stabila because it's my best friend in the whole world to outline her. It's really a challenge because I worked backwards. This is the first page when you open it up, and all the other pages are done, and so they're all really like thick with collage and paint, and it's like that bottom part of the book that's right in front of me, as you see it right now, is really thick. It's like an inch or more, and so her head is really far away from me and also down a level from the rest of the book. So this project was actually a bit of a physical challenge because I couldn't really see her face like the whole time. It was very awkward. But again, this project was really much less about like doing a killer job and way more about just seeing if the process could soothe my soul, and it did. So yay art. So there's a lot of texture from that gesso that's underneath there, so it's kind of like bubbly and and scraggly, but I paid no mind to that, and I just kind of kept drawing. I love this Stabilo too, because if you notice, I actually erased her entire mouth and nose I just used a wipe and was able to obliterate them entirely. So it's really erasable, which is pretty cool. So I just, yeah, you know my love for this Stabilo. I'm not sorry about that. All right, so I'm just using some skin toned Ceramcoat paints, craft paint for her face. I really was trying to just like move quickly, and I wasn't, I don't know. I really could have cared less about what I was doing. I was just trying to get in the mood and get into my music and see if I could just get into the process. And again, I really did. I really just do get lost, and that's, again, where like the sort of therapy comes in, is the whole world sort of falls away, and you're just, you know, worried about your paintbrush and if it's covering the paint underneath it. And like, that's all you're worrying. It's nice to just like shut out the world and just tune into just the one little task that you're doing. And it's so hard in this society for us to do that with, oh my gosh, just all the horrible things that are happening every day, and you know, the stress of life, and oh, I have laundry to do, and then later on I have an appointment and all this stuff. So just that, I think just that act of like honing in on one little act for a solid chunk of time is just like what we need to kind of quiet down some of the environmental noise that shows up in our daily life. So that's what art really does for me a lot of times, and I don't talk about it very much, or maybe even ever, but there you go, I'm talking about it today. So yeah, and huge thanks always to Jenny Mano for these fantastic drawing prompts. She does them every week on Facebook, and she just knocks it out of the park. And sometimes she has like guest prompt makers, if you will, and they're just the skill and the talent on there is just awesome. And these ladies are not professional artists, they're just people who just love what they do and happen to be sincerely, amazingly good at it. And it doesn't matter if they are not, you know, successful, huge successful artists. They're successful, awesome people in their own right, doing lots of things. And I think it's just cool that you can have a passion and a hobby that you don't have to run, that doesn't run your whole life necessarily. But that's just something you can get super into, especially if you're an adult and maybe you were really creative as a kid, and now you can kind of go back to your like creative roots and get into that kind of stuff. I think it's just the coolest thing in the entire world. So if you're a creative person and you're scared to kind of get to it, you can check out Jenny's Facebook group and give some of her prompts a try. And you don't have to show anybody if you don't want to, and if you do, that's cool too. And you're welcome to join my Facebook group as well, which is just Awesome Art School. And there's a lot of newbies on there, and there's a lot of really experienced people on there, and we all just kind of come together and share our work, and it's awesome to see what everybody is into. It really is cool. It's also really cool to see people's growth after they've been posting for a long time. That's probably the most exciting thing. Today I did not use Mod Podge, you guys. Today I was like, I used gel medium, which is gloss, and I have to say, it's kind of disgusting. It's kind of disgusting. After it dries, it stays like really gooey. Now I understand why people are always asking me, always, doesn't the Mod Podge make your pages stick together? And I'm always like, no, what are you talking about? It really doesn't. And now after using this, I realize, because this is what most people probably would use, now I know why they ask me that, because this will make my pages stick together, and now I probably will have to really coat it with Mod Podge and then spray it with some acrylic sealer to knock that off, because it's kind of obnoxious. So no, I did not. I was missing my Mod Podge today and sad I didn't end up using it. But it's important as artists that we all kind of think outside the box once in a while, try new things, and it's all good. I ended up turning off my lights because it was so shiny and reflective too. I had a hard time seeing it because the light was reflecting off of her. So I'm sitting here now it's kind of dark too and I can't see her face very well. So yeah, as always, all my projects, no matter what I'm doing them for, I always take away something. I'm always learning something from whatever project I am focusing on at that time. Using my fun Posca pens and my Pitt pens to kind of add the details in her hair, eyes, nose, mouth. The Pitt pens you can really blend around like that. You can see I'm blending with my fingers. The Posca pen is much more opaque and doesn't move. You can move it a little bit, but it's not as malleable as those Pitt Artist pens, and those are by Faber-Castell, and it is PITT. Those are the big brush ones that are my favorite. I've been collecting them quite a bit. And it's not to say that your Pitt pen won't move as well. That's what that black is. So you spray it with your sealer, that's not going to go anywhere either. So I just like to use both. I have like a marker fetish. I just love them all. And how cute is that bow? Again, I can't take any credit for that. I never would have put a bow there in 100 million years. I just wouldn't. So thanks, Jenny. Thanks for the best idea. And that's what's so great about these prompts too, is you can kind of turn your brain off and go with someone else's idea for the day. So I hope you enjoyed this so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.